Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 12, Dhruva Mahārāja goes back to Godhead. We are at the final verse, text 52. Idam mayate bihitam kurudvaha dhruvasya vikhyata vishuddha karmanaha हित्वार्भक क्रीडानकानि मातुर गृहं च विष्णुं शरणं यो जगाम. Translation.
The transcendental activities of Dhruva Maharaj are well known all over the world, and they are very pure. In childhood, Dhruva Maharaj rejected all kinds of toys and playthings, left the protection of his mother, and seriously took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. My dear Vidura, I therefore conclude this narration, for I have described to you all its details. Purport. It is said by Chanakya Pandit that life is certainly short for everyone, but if one acts properly, his reputation will remain for a generation. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, is everlastingly famous, so the reputation of Lord Krishna's devotee is also everlasting. Therefore, in describing Dhruva Maharaj's activity, two specific words have been used, that is Vikhyata, that is very famous, and Vishuddha, that is transcendental. Dhruva Maharaj's leaving home at a tender age and taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the forest is a unique example in this world. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the fourth canto, 12th chapter of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, entitled Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Idam te, thus, my dear Vidura, Maitreya Muni says, that I have in detail completely explained to you very, very amazing charitra. Which is that charitra? Vikhyatam Vishuddha Karmana. The narration which is famous all over the world and which is very pure, Vishuddha Karmana. Arbhakam Hitvarbhakam Krida Nakani Matur. He rejected all kinds of toys and playthings and also left the protection of his mother as a Arbhaka, very small child. And Gruham cha Vishnum Sharanam Jajamayo. And seriously took shelter of Lord Vishnu. And this I have described to you in full detail. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, life is certainly short for everyone. And Kali Yuga, it becomes even shorter, right? That is the first symptom of Kali Yuga, is that life will maximum become 100 years. Compared to previous all other ages, life is very, very short. But if one acts properly, his reputation will remain for generations. And this is the example of Dhruva Karmanaha, Dhruva Charitra. Lord Krishna is very famous, and anybody who attains as a fame of devotee of Krishna also becomes very famous. And Prabhupada says there are these two specific words, Vikhyata Dhruva is very, very famous personality and Vishuddha, transcendental. Leaving home at a very tender age and taking shelter of the Supreme is the unique example. At the age of 5 and within 6 months attaining the Supreme Lord is considered to be extremely glorious. And this is how we conclude the fourth canto, 12th chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Dhruva Mahārāja goes back home, back to Godhead. So today is a very auspicious day of Vasanta Panchami, and we are completing this Dhruva Charitra. Dhruva Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Very amazing Dhruva Charitra here. Starts with chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Dhruva goes to the forest, then Dhruva returns home, then Dhruva he fights with the Yakṣas, then he is advised by Manu, and finally goes back home, back to God. This is the full life of Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva Charitra. So we will go to the next chapter. Today I have to close a little early because we have an NBA committee visit and we are supposed to reach college by 8 o'clock. So is there any question, discussion, any comments? Tomorrow we will do one exercise that are, want to spend couple of days on Dhruva Charitra. We will visit some important shlokas of this Dhruva Charitra, recite them. And also we want to see the important personalities, the characters in Dhruva Charitra and what could be learnings from these personalities. Right. Like there are many personalities who appear in this Dhruva Charitra. One is Dhruva Maharaj himself. Another is Narada Muni. Third is Raja King Uttanapad, right? And who all are there? Suniti, Suruchi, Yakshas appear, Manu appears, Kuberji appears,
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni appears. Right. So these are the different personalities who are part of these pastimes. So we'll spend some time on discussing some learnings from these great personalities.
Pracheta's name also came once, right?
Pracheta's reference comes, they don't personally appear in this pastime. Prachetas will come later. Right. So if you see the Falashruti, one of the longest Falashruti it is. Another one important thing is, that when we celebrate our birthday, do we really celebrate our birthday? Actually, we celebrate our birth date, right? So somebody says, I am born, my birthday is, say, 12 April. So, it is actually not the birth date, it is birth date. And that's also according to the Gregorian calendar, right? So this is not also the Vedic day. So Vedic day, so I was just thinking one thing, that whenever we remember our birth day currently, we remember a month and we remember a date. Like, somebody as Janma Tithi. That is, we have to remember the month, and that month we have to remember from the Vedic month. Chaitra, Vaishak, Jeshta, Ashad. From there we have to remember. And instead of date, we have to remember the nakshatra. Right. So which is the nakshatra that and this is the most scientific method of, the remembering one's birthday, because that is really the day when, our birth happened. So yesterday, a lot of mention were there about the tithi. So we should really know our Janma Tithi. Okay, this is just a side discussion. Yeah. So anybody, any comments on this? Any questions around?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question was, is it true that eh, when a devotee goes back to Godhead on the way to um, Goloka or Vaikuntha, there are many, I wouldn't say obstacles, but they can be
Distractions.
attracted to distractions, yes. And they can be attracted to different lokas, Svargloka, or things like that.
Different descriptions come with different backgrounds. I mean, different connotations there around. Of course, when one goes to Vaikuntha, it is explained that one will hear as it is explained that Dhruva Maharaj could see all the planetary systems, and then he reached Vaikuntha. And there is another description that it is like you close your eyes here and you open your eyes in Vaikuntha or in the spiritual world. So there are various descriptions about this. There is a description of Janak Maharaj. This is a very amazing description. Janak Maharaj, when he was going back home, back to Godhead, he told Vishnu that I just want to see the universe. And when he came across the universe, he came across the hellish planets. And he was just wondering, what is this hellish planets? And he momentarily stopped, you know, uh, hellish planets, near the hellish planets. And the wind which was touching the transcendental body of Janak Maharaj, when it started flowing from touching him to the hellish planets, suddenly all the people in the hellish planet, they began to feel great, kind of, they suddenly began to feel great joy within themselves. They suddenly began to feel a kind of a fulfillment within themselves. And the Agni which are like boil the oil, burn somebody here and there, all those things are punishments are there. All those punishments started reducing, and there was a great chaos. And the matter reached to Yamarajji, and the Yamarajji said, this is because a pure devotee, personality like Janak Maharaj is standing. And finally, this matter reached to Janak Maharaj also. They said that please, move ahead from here because we are not able to punish people because of your presence. And Janak Maharaj was such a saintly personality. He said, oh, if my being here is going to reduce their punishment, I will continue to remain here. Okay. So there are various descriptions of, going back home, back to Godhead. Generally, it is said that one should not get distracted. So main point is one should not get distracted. That is the thing. Now Kṛṣṇa takes us by which route back home, back to Godhead? It's between, you and Kṛṣṇa. Like that it is. Right?
Thank you,
Uh,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
We had some time back we had discussed about the dreams
Yes.
which we get. So I just wanted, some little bit clarification of the dreams that, from my personal experience, I'm saying that my father passed away around 40 years back. But still, I get dreams about him that as if we are like he was in the military. So remembering those days of the military quarters as if he's missing for 4 5 days, he's not coming home. We are searching for him. Those kind of dreams, they keep occurring, not very often. But what could be the reason? Some kind of guilt conscious in my mind, or what could be? Some
Not
spiritual.
necessarily guilt, but necessarily great affection. Maybe, you were very affectionate to your father. Very deep impressions you have. Not necessarily guilt. Sometimes when we are very attached to somebody, and this is how happens to a devotee also, right? So when
Okay.
whatever we are very greatly attached to, and especially in the childhood, one will get those dreams. Or
Okay.
in a positive or negative way, even positive way also, when
Huh,
someone's
huh,
emotions are very heavily dealt in the childhood.
huh,
I
huh.
know a very amazing devotee, and that devotee gets dreams of 10th standard exam day in, day out.
Right. Even I do get that sometimes, 10th standard, as if
So,
I've not cleared that, some kind of
because
reaching late to the
although that devotee is a
exams.
very exalted devotee, But because that the tormentation during that period was so intense that
Okay.
dreams continue now also.
Okay. Okay.
I know
Okay.
another devotee now, that devotee taking, of course, I'm changing many reference points. So
Yeah.
please don't take it if it matches with somebody, because
No, no,
point
fine,
is,
fine.
that now that devotee, his son or daughter is preparing for JEE, and parents ko itna tension hai. Though previously mother used to get her own 12th ka dream, now the mother gets child's JEE dreams. Okay.
Okay. Right, right.
So
That
like
was
that.
the reason I mentioned my personal this thing
Yeah.
without any references.
Right.
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 Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much.
Correct.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji. This is
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for nicely explaining the Dhruva Charitra in 12th chapter. My question is when we are going through this Dhruva pastime, so basically thoughts come in our mind. Also, we have children, and sometimes we also ask children, see Dhruva Maharaj was like this and that. So sometimes it should not be that much heavy also to the children, because we cannot imitate to Dhruva Maharaj because based on our current conditioning. So just wanted to understand like how to explain this pastime, and maybe sometime apply in our children and keep some expectation. How to understand these, Prabhuji?
Yeah, nice point. So one thing is, Dhruva Maharaj as a child, Prahlad Maharaj as a child, and these are the universal histories. And how many such examples we find in Bhagavatam? How many Dhruva Maharajas are there in Bhagavatam? Only one. Okay.
One.
How many Prahlad Maharajas are there in Bhagavatam? Only
Oh.
one. So these are uniquely unique pastimes, right? I was just joking with one devotee. I was telling him that don't expect your child to be Prahlad. He said, why, Prabhuji? I told him because you are not Hiranyakashipu. So, I mean, so these are not for setting some standards for our children, right? Otherwise, that joke, very bad joke it is, but that joke, like, once father was saying, Beta, तुम्हारे एज में छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज ने, at the age of 16, he went and he cut off his finger and did Abhishek to Rudra. And I can explain this in Marathi better. स्वराज्य स्थापनेची शपथ घेतली होती. And then the child very innocently said, Papa, but at your age he became king also. Rajyabhishek ho gaya tha. So, I mean, what happens is it is only for inspiration. And for children, children, it is very simple. Children, we have to create very positive memories of Krishna consciousness. Certain things, they will hear katha nicely, they will enjoy stories nicely. Chanting, they will take good amount of time to chant. Chanting is a very intense sadhana, right? What to speak of children taking good amount of time? Even when we preach to people take good amount of time to pick up beadbag and chant rounds. So, we have to be considerate to our children, not expecting too much. We have become devotees because maybe one reason because our parents never expected us to become a devotee, right? So it's very important. So, sometimes what happens is, as a devotee, and because we are in the devotee community, our friends are devotees, relatives are devotees, and our sense of worth may come from our child taking to Krishna consciousness, and that's a trap for a devotee parents. Like, देखो उसने 4 राउंड किया, उसने 8 राउंड्स किया, उसने 10 राउंड किया, तुम क्या कर रहे हो, तुम तो मेरा बच्चा हो, बच्ची हो, आई एम सच अ सीनियर, आई एम दिस, आई एम. So my sense of social worth should not come from my child becoming devotee or not a devotee. And we have seen obscene examples where parents spoil their relationship with the child, and the child is just going through his or her own the particular age tantrum, like teenage. They will have their own teenage tantrums, then the children, they have their. So it is very important that we do not try to subtly derive some spiritual mileage. Of course, you are a very wonderful parent. I'm just saying the different aspects of the whole thing, right?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, sometimes our life we lost something very precious thing, other maybe in the dearest person. So that situation very much hard to handle. This and that time we are very much depressed that condition. So how we come out this dismissal? My Prabhuji says is your previous karma, you did something wrong that time, that's why you get this time this kind of things. So how to handle the situation, Prabhuji?
One very powerful way to handle, why it happened. There are, 10 different reasons why it could have happened something in our life. But how to handle now, it will take some. Tomorrow we'll take up this question because it's I just don't
Yes.
want to say that we can handle it by spiritual life. Of course, spiritual life, no doubt about it. But certain remorse, if we are doing it on the material platform, simply applying spiritual solution is not sufficient, right? And if my vehicle is punctured, then I have to go to puncture wala. I have to get the puncture out, and then this. So there is not one solution fit all, but we have to go, what is the root cause of my problem? That is where we have to go. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. We will begin with this question itself. Okay.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
very
So
much.
we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Guruji, Hare
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.